bet the number is between 98 to 108.
That's a little high.
It's a certain number. Yeah. So it's been kind of bad. So that's what's going on here.
I'm so sorry. What was your heart rate? Your
Well,
heart rate rate?
yes, it's going. It's from 80 to 120 or something.
Really?
Yeah, 101 or 110 or something.
So anything over 100 is
I read that. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, gracious. So, but it's been a week from the medication. So I'm just trying to, just think. It was like 156.
They do amio early?
They did everything because they came in with a headache with it. Cleaning.
Well, yeah, with that high blood pressure, you'll have a terrible headache. But amiodarone, that'll make the headache worse.
Oh, really? They did a CT scan before.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, they need to do that because with that high sustained.
And then they tried to offer it twice.
Yeah, you have to take protocols because if you live by yourself and you pass out. Have people check on this.
My coworkers are doing that now.
Leather jacket? Little hat?
You know, if you don't call it a certain amount of time, something smashes the ambulance.
Yeah. Well, I did. That's what I'm saying. So everybody has a different way. It's not.
Yeah, so I take that high.
All right.
Maybe, have you been under a lot of stress?
And even my parents.
Yeah.
So I felt at ease when I'm
Well,
there.
especially when living alone.
Yeah.
Did you have a friend stay with you?
No, but I'm not losing it now. It's all down. That's right on that. But yeah, at night. And then
Yep, that's
I take that in the morning. So we'll see. And then I have
potassium fills out like a big horse bill.
not that big, it's not blue.
Oh,
cool. You look very cool with the leather jacket.
Well, actually, I wore it on what you start one Eastern Saturday. And
Yeah.
this weather's getting
I turned the heat up before I left, so it's nocturne is 45, 50 minutes before I came back. We're gonna get going. Where are we going? To the shul. Speaking of going, I trust all of you have signed up for Ramah.
No, doesn't sound like they have. Yeah, but it's fun. It's cold here. You might as well go there. Yeah, but you can go there. It is fun. It is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Are we min or minyan?
We are still min. We have a backup plan. If we get to the point where, like another 20 minutes, he's 9. No. We can stick other people out in the rain and call it a mikvah. Should we do that?
Can we do that? I'll stand in the rain.
No, we're not doing that. Yes, sir.
Do we need to get a number 9 and do a full service on 9? Counting the Sefer Torah?
No, I'm not. I never count the Sefer Torah. I'm sorry.
Okay.
However, I do have a husband who's home with children, and we have a backup plan that if we get to the next 20 minutes and we still don't have a minyan, we can at least get Kaddish at the end of the service. I'll make him come.
Well, then I was just going to suggest, make it fast because there's chocolate chip cookies back there for you.
Yeah, I gotcha. That's where I'm starting. Let's do it. But I need some. Yeah, I need somebody who wants to do some candles, though. I know, but we need a blessing. Anybody want to say a blessing? I'm going to just say, hey, they're lit. All right, here she goes. Thank you, thank you. Our esteemed president. Here she goes. All right, if you don't mind rising, and if you really want to follow, and if you're following from afar, because sometimes there are people, and if it's Megan, hi Megan. Page 4, she told me sometimes she watches. Page 4, you will find the blessing for Shabbat as we welcome it in.
It is an honor and a privilege to be able to do this without sweat.
Cool.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Thank you all for lighting before sundown. We're getting to the point where soon we can do it ourselves here. But we turn to page 5, as you will find Shalom Aleichem, our hymn welcoming in those Shabbat angels, ministering angels to our midst. And on a very rainy and yucky evening, they do know how to swim. We will bring them in nonetheless, along with the Sabbath bride, the Shabbat Hamalka, because it is toasty warm. It is toasty warm in here, actually. It's toasty warm, and it's bright and cheery despite the weather out there. Page 5. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu ni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn to page 10 as we join together in Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh av harachaman mishach avdach el retzonach yarut avdach kimo hayal yishtachaveh kul hadarach ki yerav lo yedidutach minofet suf v'chol tam yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai dai yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 yadadai dai 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 dai. You'll find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat, page 11, as we join together. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, ladonai. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, ladonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, nikadma fana bitoda. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, ladonai. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, ladonai. Ki el gadol Adonai melech gadol al kol Elohim asher b'yado mechnei haaretz. I'm by the arrow on page 12. Arba'im shana kut b'dor v'omar am toev levavhem v'hem lo yadud rachai asher nishbati v'yapihi im yevohun el menuchati. Page 13. Shiru ladonai shir chadash shiru ladonai kol haaretz shiru ladonai baruch shemo Basru miyom liyom Yeshuato. That is the beginning of the 96th Psalm. If you turn over to page 14, we join together by the arrow the words from that psalm that remind us that the heavens and the earth rejoice, the sea and all in its fullness roar. We are all celebrating Shabbat, even the earth itself. Page 14. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, umelo, oh, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam umelo. Ya'alo sadai v'chol asher bo az yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek v'yamim b'emunato. By the way, that's the traditional melody for the beginnings and ends of all these psalms in Kabbalat Shabbat in particular. If you go through all of the psalms, the tradition is to begin and end with that melody, just like we might do that in any service. Each service has its own melody. That's the one for Kabbalat Shabbat in particular, as we welcome in Shabbat. So if you'll turn over to page 16, you'll find the words Or Zarua Lat Tzadik, the last 4 lines on the page. We join together as this Shabbat, we anticipate the arrival of Martin Luther King Jr. Day as we prepare to observe that special holiday. The words here are, light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. I think that is something that Martin Luther King worked for, righteousness in the world, tzedek, bringing righteousness and compassion to the world, and certainly a sense of of joy in doing that and working hard to make sure the world is a better place. That's really what the hallmark of his work was. So we join together 4 lines from the bottom. Or zarua latzadik ur lishrei lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik ur yishrei lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik ur yishrei lev simcha. Ur yishrei lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik ur yishrei lev simcha. U Yishrei lev simcha. Simchu tzadikim baronai v'hodu l'zecher kodsho. If you'll kindly turn over to page 19, we join together on the bottom of page 19 the selection that we have been reciting each Friday night, reminding us of the specialness of Shabbat. Let's read together the bottom of the page, really an interpretation of the psalm above it. Page 19. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your coming. Bring with you rest and peace following a tumultuous week filled with so many demands. Bring the space in which, with others and alone, we can shape an infinity of dreams. Bring the hour of forgiveness in which to hear the pounding heart of another human being. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your Creator. Blessed is your light. Amen. We turn over to page 20, and there we join together in Romamu as we lift our spirits despite the rain and the cold and the yuckiness. We have a minion.
Yeah, I called, and then 30 seconds later they showed, so I called.
Okay, good. They can do what they're going to do. Page 20, you'll find the arrow. We join together. If you want a little harmony, Sue's here for that. That's great. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lehar kodsho. Page 21, you will find the 29th Psalm. We rise as we join together, as we sing a psalm that reminds us that it is a daily task to try to find the voice of God in the world around us. Again, I mentioned Martin Luther King. I think that is one of the things he tried to teach as well, to look at the spirit, to look at the holiness that this world should be like, and to work towards it. So, page 21. Mizmor leDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, Havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayishaber Adonai et arze halavanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel, Levanon v'Sirion kemo ven, כמו בן רעמים. קול אדוני חוצף להבות אש, קול אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש. קול אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות, ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למה בו ישב, וישב באדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. You are welcome to be seated. Page 23, you will find Lecha Dodi, our hymn welcoming in Shabbat as our bride or queen into our midst. We'll do the first two lines, the two verses rather, the middle verse on page 24 and the last two verses on page 25. And we will then rise and face the door as we literally welcome in the Shabbat bride or queen, at least physically. I shouldn't say literally, physically welcome in. Anybody have any thoughts of tunes? I know what you want. I got you. Do Mary Poppins? Do you want to do Mary Poppins? I don't know Mary Poppins. Pnei Shabbat nikabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela, shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shemu tiferet v'litila, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela, likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Middle 24. Hitoreri, kiva ore kumi ori, uri, shir daberi. Kevod Adonai alayech nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela, lecha dodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. 25. Yaminu smoti frotzi v'et Adonai taritzi, al yad ish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nakila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzahala. Toch emunei am segula, bo'i chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, P'nei Shabbat Nikabela. We have to figure out how to go up and down at the end. All right, yes, Rekoach. You may be seated. Do you ever get to the high part? You don't do the high part. Yeah. The other. Yeah, you got to be a soprano to do that part. But it works. It worked. Did you like that one, Harold? Did you like that one? Yes. Oh, all right. Okay, good. That's good. Well, that's what she said. All right. Very different. Thank you. I've never sung that. Does it work for Adon Olam? I'm sure it does. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol. We'll have to work on it. Yeah, but not Lecha Dodi, though. Not Lecha Dodi. So that was great. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yes. I was thinking more of the chimney sweepers. But yes, that's exactly right. Very nice. Thank you for that. That was different. I loved it. Page 27, you'll find the psalm for Shabbat. We will go back to the regular Nusach for this one. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, lehagid baboker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha baleilot, alei asur v'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor, mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Kisi machtana You'll turn over to page 28 by the arrow. We join together as we conclude the psalm. Tzadika tamar yifrach, ke'erez balevanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai Tzuri, velo havlatabo. Page 29. Adonai malach yehud lavesh, lavesh Adonai os hitazar aftikon tevel, baltimod. Nachon kisacha me'az me'alamatan. Edo techanemnu me'od lehaveitcha nava kodesh Adonai leorech yamim. Hopefully you've heard the pattern. We did a few of those that way with the traditional nusach, so we'll pepper those through in the weeks to come. But you've heard what that nusach sounds like. It's very mellow, but it's very fun and happy, really. Perfect for welcoming in Shabbat. Page 30, you will find Mourner's Kaddish, as we do have a minyan. Yay! Thank you all for coming out and helping to make a minyan in the rain. You'll find it on page 30, and as we have been doing, those who wish to, we've been designating this Mourner's Kaddish as one that we are having our thoughts on those who lost their lives on October 7th and the soldiers and others hostages who we continue to learn about who have lost their lives, one of whom was the son of one of the teachers at the Schechter Education, the Midrashet Yerushalayim in Jerusalem, which is part of the conservative movement. One of the professors there lost her son as a soldier. So just keeping him in mind and all of those who we may be mourning at this moment. Page 30. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah v'yalma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mevarach leolam melomei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Welcome to be seated. So there's a wonderful story from the Talmud, which I've shared before, I think, but I'll share it here again. And it describes the rabbis debating whether a religious person should attend the gladiator games in Rome. Right? So they're discussing, is this something appropriate that somebody who is a, quote, religious person, an observant person should do? And the overwhelming answer of the rabbis was, what would you expect? No, right? For they felt that the Jew should not be spending time with such activities, but instead, what would we be doing instead? Studying Torah, right, exactly. But one rabbi, Rabbi Natan, disagreed, according to the text. And one, he argued, should certainly attend the games. Now, why? Well, when the crowd shouts for the death of the slave, you have to know what the, right? What's the gladiator games about? What's the Colosseum about? When the crowd shouts for the death of the slave, the Jew should stand up and shout to save him. Perhaps, just perhaps, the emperor will hear his lone voice, says Rabbi Natan, and spare the slave's life. Rather optimistic, but I think you understand the idea, because Jewish tradition is filled with inspiring stories of heroes of conscience who stood up for what's moral and what's right, even in the face of great odds of defeat. Our patriarch Abraham, what did he do? Well, he fueled his own moral conscience, at least in part, as he argues before God to save Sodom and Gomorrah. There are other times he doesn't speak up, but he does with that in particular. And those are two places in particular that he had little connection to, but yet stood up to God to say, don't destroy the cities. You may fast forward into the time of the Roman times, where Bar Kokhba, he led a revolt against the Romans from the Judean hills because he desperately felt we needed to fight for freedom for the Jewish people. Rabbi Yochanan, another hero, a moral or hero of conscience, what did he do in that same time frame? He faced the destruction of Jerusalem and really could have been Judaism himself with the destruction of the temple, but instead he had the insight to see the future of Judaism, that it rested not on fighting, but upon learning. And so he assured the Jewish future by convincing the Romans to let him build an academy, a school for study that in the end would go on to influence the evolution and the growth of Judaism to this very day. In the Torah reading that we study this Shabbat, we're going to continue the story of Moses, another hero of conscience, if you will, in maybe perhaps a different way, who has to summon his own courage to stand up to Pharaoh and ask that the Israelites be released from slavery. God sends him on this mission. He's a reluctant hero, for sure, at the very beginning. But eventually he summons the courage. He goes back with God's support, with support from his brother, who he learns is his brother Aaron. But even before his communication with God, we know that Moses understood what it meant to uphold morality and freedom. What do you remember about Moses? What sent him leaving Egypt? Yeah, he killed a slave. We studied in the Torah last week. He killed the slave. He saw people not as the Egyptian taskmasters saw them, right? He saw the people not as Hebrew slaves, which the taskmasters did, but as human beings who deserved to be treated as such regardless of their cultural underpinnings, physical abilities, economic status, or gender. He did that before he knew that he was one of them. He killed the taskmaster, yes, right? Yeah, he killed the taskmasters. We know what we meant, right? Yeah, and he stood up at a time where he didn't even know, right, that he was involved. He didn't know he was a Hebrew slave by birth, and he stood up, killed the taskmaster who was beating upon the Hebrew slave, and thereby took off and ran away. Now, as we read the story of Moses this Shabbat, we're continuing through as we're reading the beginning of this story and Moses going back to ask for the people to be let go, to approach Pharaoh, and we're continuing that Exodus story, the beginnings of the Exodus story, if you will. It seems fitting, I think, to pause to acknowledge the words and deeds of a 20th century leader, I mentioned him earlier, of course, whose legacy is really built upon those same values, those values of compassion, of freedom, of fairness, as those modeled really by Moses when he set the course of his life as he took action against the taskmaster. And of course, that is Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. We have a holiday, of course, coming up on Monday. And you may be familiar, of course, with his I Have a Dream speech. He was a powerful orator. His words and his writings go far beyond his most famous speech, which is, of course, that speech that he gave, the I Have a Dream speech. In 1966, he actually sat in a Birmingham jail cell, and he wrote, quote, "I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about discrimination in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly." End quote. I think I love this phrase, and if you saw my email message, great. If you didn't, you can see it later. I included words from one of his other beautiful sermons, actually, and you'll see that. You can look and see. But these words, I think, illustrate that the civil rights movement of the 1960s was a struggle that tied all of us together, black and white, Jew and non-Jew. And of course, Jews were certainly very active in the civil rights movement, especially our Abraham Joshua Heschel, who was a great conservative rabbi in particular and marched with Martin Luther King. And as he used to say, what he said from that was he prayed with his feet. He was showing his support and certainly his understanding that we are all indeed all tied together, and that when someone is discrimination is gone against them, it certainly affects all of us. Martin Luther King Jr., I think, taught us that we can't, of course, sit idly by and ignore the struggles of our neighbors. Injustice anywhere is always a threat to justice everywhere, and the lack of compassion for some threatens the compassion that we all have to have for one another. The struggle for civil rights for African Americans was, and we know it continues to be, a battle that all of us are charged to wage, because true freedom, we know, and I think we can see this in the last number of months in particular for ourselves as we've seen a rise in anti-Semitism. We recognize that freedom can only be attained when we share in the responsibility to cultivate that freedom and to maintain it for everyone. So on this Shabbat preceding Martin Luther King Jr. Day, again, encourage you to look at the sources that I sent today in the email. I know there are things going in the news, in the newspapers, online. You can read some of his works, think about what's going on. I know there are some things going on here in the community, and there are communities all across the country. But I think it's a wonderful time, this Shabbat in particular, as we come up to Martin Luther King Jr. Day, to reflect on the image of God by seeing the world as it has the potential to be. Let's look and think about what it means to have a world of love and peace and righteousness and freedom. So take some time to read some of those texts written by him, or other heroes of conscience, maybe ones you have, including Moses' story, which we'll study tomorrow in the context of our service. But as you study the Torah reading and that story of Moses, as you think about Martin Luther King, consider the ways that we might further that dream of freedom and equality for which we know in the end Dr. King sacrificed his life for. And as we seek to bring goodness, love, compassion, justice, and freedom to the world for everyone, hopefully we can live up to the words of the psalmist who inspires us from Psalms 133:1, a song that we all know very well. The words in English are how inspiring or how wonderful or how good it is for brothers and sisters, all of humanity, to work together as one family. So as we conclude and prepare for our evening service, hope you'll join with me as we sing. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat shalom. With that, we're going to turn forward into to our Siddur on page 39a. There you will find the beginning of the evening service as we formally welcome in the new day and Shabbat. I'll ask if you're able to rise. If not, you are welcome to stay seated if you need to. Page 39a. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach leolam vahed. Hamevorach, hamevorach leolam vahed. You are welcome to be seated. We're on the bottom half of 39a. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher Umavir yom umehevi laila umavdil ben yom uven laila Adonai tzavaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ari v'aravim. We join together on page 40, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu u'v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu v'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla V'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu leolamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uvshoch becha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtaftam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. We join together in the English on 41. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. We turn on over to page 44, Umalchu Toberatzon, leading up to Michamocha, the words we sang appropriately, as we, in a couple weeks, will read in its context the crossing of the Red Sea from slavery into freedom. Page 44. Umalchu Toberatzon kiblu aleihem, Moshe u'Miriam u'vnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh nohora tehilot osef eleh Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe ze'elianu v'yamru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar kifata Adonai et Yaakov uge'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai gal Yisrael. Page 45, we read together on the left side in the English our prayer for shalom, for peace and protection as we end our day and begin a new day together. Page 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. Ushmor tzeitenu uvo'enu lechayim u'l'shalom me'ata v'yad olam ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'yal kol amo Yisrael v'yal Yerushalayim. Page 46, we rise as we join together in the singing of the Shamru, reminding us that we have a connection to God, a covenant shared with God through the observance of Shabbat. page 46. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish, page 46. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ויעמד יברך ירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וימהרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא וימהרו amen. You'll find the silent Amidah this evening, pages 47 through 52. Welcome to add your own personal thoughts to the words on the page, and when you're through, you're welcome to be seated. Middle of 51. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol heit u'b'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rahav al Yisrael amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We turn over to page 54. There you will find Kaddish Shalem. Yitkara v'yitkara shemei rabba v'yamad yivarach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'mechon uv'chayeroch v'Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam alal me'ol maya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha. Brichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiram yama v'imeru. Amen. Titkabal tlotan uva uton dechol Yisrael kodam avahon v'shamaya v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim alenu yal kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. O Hoseh shalom bimromav uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru imru. Amen. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru. Amen. If you'll kindly turn forward in your Siddur to page 173, there you will find our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. Certainly we recite and we sing this prayer as a hope that we can heal the world. And certainly bring spiritual, emotional, and certainly physical health to all who are in need. I will read the names of those we have on our list today, and certainly you can add at the end of that list any names that you might have in your thoughts at this moment. Hanan Yehuda ben Blumerivka, Daniel Eliezer ben Tzvi, Shulamit bat Gittel, Zachariah ben Ephraim Vasara, Chaya bat Avraham Vasara. Evan Kutcher, Dan Siegel, Danielle Rice, Gidel Glasser, Ari Sanders, Ariella Alfieri, Peyton Matthews, Bill Bucks, Samuel Sheridan, Estelle Lurie, Lynn Alexander, Marjorie Morstein, Linda Cutler, Kat Caraway, Diane Hickey, Barbara Feingold, Remy Valcourt, Harriet Siegel, Lori Kahan Simon, Bob Bugos, Nadine Hyman, Zach Landis, Mike Kadetich, Linda Holtzman, Ed Tansky, Irene Friedman, Joel Lowenstern, Gary Kramer, Arthur Stone, Natalie Kogan, Diana Saltzman, Victor Alfieri, Michael Abrams, Francis Haber, Michael Hawkins, Michelle Stupak, Caitlin Weathers, Alex Schwartz, Danielle Santini, Becky Smith, Julia Bernanke, Irene Goodman, and to all names we add at this moment, if anyone has. keep them in our thoughts as we turn again to 173 on the far left. Misheberach Avotenu Mikor haberacha Laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mikor haberacha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Refuah shlema to all in need. We turn back to page 56. There you will find Aleinu, and I'm sad to say I don't have any helpers today that are ready-made running up the hallway. So if anyone wants to join me on the bima, good, Linda, thank you. We will open the Arona Kodesh, and we rise as we join together in Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol lateit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam Va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim veyoser haaretz umoshav yikaro bashamayim imal ushchinatu zo Megov he meromim hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu efezulato kakatuv betorato v'yadata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim Bashamayim mima'al v'al haaretz mitachat ein od al kenekav elachon Eloheinu liot me'eret feret zechon. Ki ha-malchut shelcha hi ula'omeatim loch bechavod kakatuv betoratecha Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz vayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate it. I love the boots. You are definitely staying dried feet. I need a pair like that. As we turn to page 58, there you will find Mourner's Kaddish. This evening, as we recite the Mourner's Kaddish, we keep in our thoughts those whose yortzites occur in the week that is coming. Hattie Crystal, Tess Feingold, Annie Lieberstein, Florence Schroeder, Alter Zalman, Edith Katz, Philip Merkin, Arnold Rose, Alexander Schutz, Tamara Strength, Mark Kurgan, Anna Gleisch, Thomas Christall, Solomon Nygoff, Gloria Lasky, Morris Shapiro, Becky Siegel, Louis Goldstein, Mary Isaacs, and Dora Heimowitz. Any others I didn't mention? You'll find Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. We keep all of them in our thoughts. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma divrach yirute v'yamlich malchute B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olomei olmaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal Shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May be seated. Announcements. That's what we used to say anyway. My Bima buddy this evening, who has spent the time not on the Bima, but in the very last row of the sanctuary, is none other than our esteemed president, Tamar Paltrow, who... Okay, I'm going to do this because I have been told by a few people that if they don't get to hear the announcements.
You can hear me.
So, there you go.
All right.
So I'll just stand nearby.
I don't need this. All right. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, everybody. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Omar and Gabriela Alexander. Thanks, guys. And tomorrow, Stephanie and Victor Alfieri. Funny story about them this weekend. This week. Wednesday, January 17th at 7:30 is the annual meeting of the Beth Israel Cemetery Association. It's a virtual meeting, so the spirits can come in. You need an RSVP. Contact Jeff Zaglin if you want that information. Folks, last year we had such a good time at Camp Ramah, that Southern Schmooze weekend. As all of you know, we don't get to really be Jewish here for a 24-hour period, let alone a 36-hour period. Come to Ramah. It is phenomenal. It's a taste of camp. And food. Food is phenomenal. So come. It's in the newsletters. Log on. Come with. Hotel rooms, hot water. It's wonderful. We had a great time.
There's a golf cart if you can't get around. You can have a golf cart. For Shabbat. They will have. So, but just quick note, we are putting the program together. If you have any inkling you're thinking of coming, you got to sign up soon because they're getting ready to kind of close out.
When is it? Weekend of February 2nd to 4. No.
She's out of town.
So bring her.
She's out of town.
That was easy. That could be her birthday present. A weekend with Grandma.
This might be the last the time they're doing it. I'm not sure we're going to end it within next year. Yeah, we gotta convince them otherwise.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, Sisterhood Shabbat is next weekend. I'm reading Torah. I know. I've been practicing. Yes. Chanting Hebrew with an Italian accent.
Yes, exactly. And read the whole Torah in translation.
That's right. I had been to synagogue in Rome. It was very interesting, especially when they had to frisk you for bombs on the way in. Early 80s. Anyway, Social Action is hosting a period packing party on the 21st. which is going to be Sunday, 12:15. So you'll come for the adult ed class and hang around. Tuesday, adult education with Fred Leffert meets at 5:30 via Zoom. But not this week.
Okay, see, did you confirm that with him?
He sent an email.
Okay, just making sure, okay.
Okay. Wednesday nights, or Wednesday evenings, Intro to Judaism. If you have anybody who's curious, bring them on down. 7 p.m. here. Sunday, we have Turning Points, which is the adult ed at 9:45, followed by Beginning Hebrew for those who want to be ready for next year's Sisterhood Shabbat. If you need any information, you know where to find us. Blood Connection, blood drive is going to be February 25th. I'm stopping my chemotherapy, so I'll be able to donate this year. Yes. Yes, I'm thrilled. On the 25th. Starting at 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more details, contact Richard Zander. He has all the information.
At the temple, though, just made aware.
It's at the temple, yeah. And if you can't make it that day, you can go in with some kind of code, like for a week afterwards, and we'll get credit for it. Anniversaries, Lee and Irene Friedman. Birthdays, Frank Boaz, Larissa Gelman, Charna Baum, Gilad Rosen, and Marcia Suval. Happy birthdays.
Thank you.
Done.
Okay, wait, take me with you. Thank you so much. Just a few details. We certainly extend our condolences to Harold Rabhan and the entire family, of course, on the death of Barbara, and to our entire congregation. I know she was really a matriarch in this community for a very long time. And the funeral will be, if you saw the email, the funeral will be Monday at 10 a.m. Dress warmly because it's graveside, so I know it'll be pretty cold. But we will certainly gather with the family and give them the support they need. Minyan will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 6 o'clock at the Rabban home. So I wasn't sure what they were going to do with Tuesday, so now, thank you, there'll be no Tuesday Zoom class. We'll know that for going forward. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 o'clock at their home. So just keep that in mind. And of course, as they always do, we will have a meal of comfort for them as well. So, yeah. No, I'm going to go ahead and be at the Minyan, and I will, at 6 o'clock, I should be able, they're only about 8 minutes away, I should be able to make it back. It's a small class. I'll let you know, but school is going on anyway till 7 o'clock. So yes, Intro to Judaism will still be going on. If you want to join, and it's not too late, it's a very small group of us, but we can do it, and you've got 5 more weeks to enjoy, so. Pajamas are definitely optional. If I didn't have to be teaching in here in the building before that, I would wear my pajamas too. Yes, 7 to 9, but it allows us to do a kind of a concentrated journey into Judaism, except in 6 weeks, basically. So it's a very basic class, but some of the same things that we did in Journey, but a little bit different too. So there's lots of opportunities for learning together. With that, we're going to go in the back in just a moment to do a little bit of Kiddush and Motzi. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching from afar, if you're watching from afar. Thank you for being here and helping out to make a minyan. We all walked in and went, we'll never have a minyan today. Ha, ha, ha. Never say never. I'm thrilled, and it just brings my warmth to my heart. Honestly, that is small congregation that we are, where we are, what we are, that we get a minyan basically every time we try to get one. And I think that's amazing for every Friday night and every Shabbat morning that we can do that with different people, not the same people. That's pretty amazing. I would stack us up with any large congregation in the country who, from previous experience, had problems trying to make a minyan with 600 families in their congregation. So, yay us. All right, with that, we're going to conclude with I'm just going to do a little bim bam Shabbat Shalom, because I don't know about you, but my stomach's growling and I'd like a little bit of Kiddush oneg to enjoy. So we join together. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam bim bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom, everyone. We will head back and little Kiddush and Motzi to enjoy and some nosh. I think it will help us make some connections, help me make some connections certainly too. So, so if we did have a board meeting, I was going to.
No, I can,
Be
but I
very
think I'm
brief
gonna, no, I think what I'm gonna do, because she was such a matriarch, and there are enough people in the group that would want to
Yeah, I
participate. I
mean,
think
you probably
we
can,
can
because
postpone it for